Okay, so I'm going to show you a quick way to clean your Miops Splash water drop kit. It's the newer version that was released this year. And it should take me less than 10 minutes, but I'm going to go through it real quickly because a couple of the people in this thread have brought up wondering how to clean it. And it's really quite simple. So the first thing I do is this tube has to come off. So basically I will just turn it here with my hand. Well, I seem to have put it on a little tight, but last time. Anyhow, this unscrews here by grasping this thing here. You can actually even use, a pair of pliers with very light pressure. Maybe put a paper towel between the grip head and the plastic so that you don't destroy it or damage it. Anyhow, it's really, you can see that I just finished using it. It's pretty dirty, so it's got to be cleaned. And this comes out of this particular piece here, out of the top, as you see. And that will be cleaned simply by running some water through it. That's simple enough. You can see it just pours right through and cleans it out. You can run it through the opposite direction as well in order to be thorough about it. Same with this, you can just run the water through there. It's pretty simple. It should be good enough. There's a screen on the inside. You probably can't really see it that well, but you see the hole through there. There's a little screen that sometimes when your mixture gets a little too thick, it'll get caught up in that. Anyhow, I'm going to put that over there for now. Turn the water back off. Now, this piece here, you want to take a flathead screwdriver, and this big, screw on the back, counterclockwise, unscrew it. Grasp it like this, put this piece into your palm so you can hold this piece with your thumb and forefingers. And you just unscrew this, and there's a fairly long screw here, not too long, but a little bit long. And, okay, that's come out. Now what you have left is in here is this piece here, and this is your electronic part. It really doesn't get dirty inside there. This is just where it fits together, so you don't really need to clean that out. You can rinse it if it gets a little bit of moisture in it, just to be sure. But anyhow, that's the electronic part. Now this piece here, you need a Phillips screwdriver. There's 2 screws. They're both magnetic screws. You don't want to do this over your sink because you don't want to drop it into the drain and not be able to find it. They're special screws. And they are magnetic. They'll stick to your screwdriver. You undo both of those. And this plate just spins right off. You can rinse it. I do. Just to make sure all the gunk's off it. And then you see this part here. This is your piston. And you just wiggle it and it comes apart like that. And this comes out as well, and you can see that you can just hold that in your fingers and rinse it off. That's pretty clean. That's good enough. You don't want to lose that spring that's on there, so I always hold on to it while I'm rinsing it. And there's a little rubber ring here that will get back into the piece there. So I'm going to set that aside for a second. And this piece here, you pour water into this hole and you pour water into the top. And you can also pour it into here if you want, but that'll rinse it right out. see though. You can't really see it right now, but there you go. There, you can see it spitting out the whole there. Anyhow, that's rinsed out fairly good. I have a little brush that I like to use, and it just, you know, kind of cleans out any gunk that's in that little aluminum tube there where the drops fall out. Okay, so everything's all rinsed, ready to put back together already. That was simple, wasn't it? Now all we do is you take your piece with the spring on the end of it, and you're going to put it back in here and just kind of wiggle it side to side until it snaps into place. There's a little rubber ring that holds it in place. And then you take your little brass plate. It only goes on one way. You can see the holes in it are set a special way, so it goes with the where the holes go for the sprocket screws. Now there's still a screw stuck on the end of the screwdriver because, like I said, they're magnetic, right? So you just stick it back into that hole, screw it in. I don't tighten it too tight at first. Put the second one in. And give it a couple of twists until it's fairly hand tight. You don't want to overdo it because then it's very difficult to get off again. And then this piece here goes back on in here. There's only one way it can go so that the nozzle is pointing down. And you just screw that back in. Now I like to give it a pretty good twist. Just so it's nice and tight, so it's not loose here. This goes back on. This takes a bit to screw on because there's so many threads. And I just hand tighten it, really. Now this is still a little loose, so I'm just going to give it another twist with the screwdriver to tighten her up and wipe it off. And I'll usually wipe out the inside. Here's what I do. Just take a butter knife, wrap it with a paper towel around the end. Just stick it inside, and you can get all the excess water out of there. And it's nice and clean and ready for your next drop. Simple as that.